News Talk 1400, KFRU, Columbia.
Hello and welcome back to The Woman's Show, a show for women about the things that matter most to women. I'm Melody Perry, and I'm in the studio with my good friends and co-hosts,
Kim Stone-Cipher-Fisher
and Monica Senecal. And joining us today is the director of the season opener for Columbia Entertainment Company. Dracula the Musical is the show. Leslie Stock is the director. Welcome.
Hi, ladies. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for joining us. Now, Dracula the Musical, whatever attracted you to direct this musical?
It is a wonderful love story, and I just love how...
You love vampires?
Yeah.
There are a lot of those, because I have a lot of girlfriends who love their vampires right now.
Yep, I do love the vampires, but it's just a wonderful story of love and how love ends up bringing somebody back from being a monster to humanity. And so I just love how that love can change.
You sound
people.
like you're a little bit of a romantic. Are you? Would you
I
say
am.
that?
I am definitely a romantic.
So this production of Dracula the Musical that we'll see, is it going to be blood and gore and kind of a horror thing, or is it going to be more romance and that kind of pulling the heartstrings kind of thing?
It will be more romance. Now we do have some moments of, people getting attacked by the vampire brides and stuff. But our vampire brides are incredibly sexy, and so
so the victims don't mind that much. Is that what you're saying?
they don't suffer and they don't really struggle too terribly much.
That's fun. Okay, very good. Now talk to us a little bit about what you do in your real life.
I'm a mom of 4 children and a wife, and
so that's a full-time job plus some.
It is, but thankfully I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I can be at home with the little ones during the day.
Sure.
Get through the coming home from school and seeing everybody, eating dinner, and then dashing off to the theater.
From 18 months to a freshman in high school?
That's correct.
Wow. You spaced them out, didn't you?
I did. Nobody in diapers except one at a time.
Nice. That's the way to do it.
And a driver. I like that.
And
there you go. Yeah. Pretty soon a driver. Oh, gosh.
Pretty sad.
Yeah.
I don't need to be reminded of that.
Sorry
right
about that. Now, I understand your 5th grader is actually in the production.
She is. She plays the little girl in the production that Lucy, one of our female characters, attacks. And so it's sort of neat to be able to take her to the theater and stuff. And she's really enjoyed sitting with me as I work on blocking at home, and she asks questions. And so she's gotten a lot more interested beyond just her part of what happens in the theater.
The 5th grader, tell me how old she is.
She's 10.
10. So did you have to have a talk with her about fantasy and vampires and things like that this is not, so she doesn't have like nightmares and things like that about what she's, seeing and taking part in?
Sure. We've had a talk like that, but we've also talked about it before this even, because our family is we love the Lord of the Rings.
Sure.
We love those
fantasy
We
stuff.
love the fantasy stuff. And so we've most definitely had that talk and that discussion. And in all honesty, there are parts of the musical that she is not privy to.
Right.
Because there are some adult themes.
Okay. So that brings up my next question. Is this something that you can take kids to? Maybe not then. Is it PG-13? What are we talking rating-wise?
I would say at the very lowest PG-13.
Okay. So maybe even something a little higher than that.
Maybe on the upper end of PG-13. We don't have any nudity or anything like that, but there are definitely adult themes in there.
Sure.
I would say parents, please, you know your children, where they're at.
Yeah.
Make your best judgment on that.
Right. And in a lot of cases, the kids are actually a little bit more advanced in what they know about than the parents.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yeah. We never really want to know what they know.
Yeah, exactly.
So are you doing this with an orchestra or a small ensemble?
Yes, we do have a full orchestra. It is a 15-piece orchestra. And so
Amazing.
it'll be gorgeous. We have violas, violins, timpani. The music is going to be just wonderful.
Now, who took Dracula and moved it into a musical production?
Frank Wildhorn is the writer of Dracula. He wrote it. It was actually debuted in San Diego in 2001, and it was brought to Broadway in 2004. It had a brief run on Broadway and some little theaters right around the New York area, and then it was dropped. Part of the reason why it was not well received on Broadway initially. Mr. Wildhorn went through, he rewrote parts of it, and then they debuted it over in Europe, and it had a very successful run in Europe. And so our production is the script and music from the Europe run.
Okay.
And from what I've been able to check into, this Dracula has not been seen in the mid-Missouri area. I don't know if, I hesitate to say in Missouri at all, because I don't know what other community theaters farther out have done, but I do know that in the mid-Missouri area, it has not been seen in Columbia or Jeff City.
Very exciting. Very
How
cool.
many actors are you working with and actresses?
We have 20. We have a cast of 20 people, and they are all volunteers. They all give up their nights to come out for 2 months of rehearsal and working with blocking and everything. So they're very dedicated individuals, and they're people you see on the street each day.
I would imagine costuming for this would be a little unique.
It is. Costuming, we have wonderful costumers, but also we have also been very blessed to have a relationship with Stevens College, and so we have rented some from Stevens. We've borrowed some from Hickman. We've borrowed some from Rockbridge. So we have good relationships with the theaters around the community, and so that has helped us greatly in being able to costume this show.
Well, it's practice, practice, practice now, but when is opening night?
It opens September 29th, and we're looking forward to it.
And do you run through Halloween?
No, we
Close.
run. Yeah,
We get close.
It's very close. We run for 3 weekends, and so we will close October 16th.
That's a perfect time of year.
I
for
think
this.
so. Yeah, I
really
think so.
fun.
Yeah. And cectheater.org is the website. It's theater spelled with an R-E. And I hear that there are different ways to make reservations this season.
Yes, this is very exciting because this is new. We now have an online reservation form that people can fill out, and also they can send their reservations via email. Also through the reservations at CEC Theater with an RE.org.
That's right.
Or they can call the theater at 573-474-3699.
Perfect. Well, that's awesome.
I love the theater. I love the venue. It's small. It's very intimate.
Yeah.
So
Not a bad seat in the house.
no, I feel like it really draws you into what is happening on stage so much more because
Certainly.
you feel a part of it. It's just so close.
Yes. And
Maybe in this one you don't want to feel too close.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm thinking turtlenecks.
Maybe you want to sit in the back row on this one.
oh,
Yeah, but it is definitely a great space, and it's a little hidden gem. I can't tell you how many times that I've been involved with something with Columbia Entertainment Company and been surprised at the amount of people who say, I didn't even know you guys were over here, because it's kind of tucked away over there, and
Parking's easy.
parking is easy, and it's right there. You don't have to walk a million miles away, like you do with some of the bigger venues in town. So it's a really nice hidden gem of community theater.
it really is. And the volunteers with the board members and all the volunteers that do so much hard work behind the scenes. You have people don't realize what all it takes to put on a production, especially with volunteer staff. But
Right.
everybody really comes through. They give up their evenings, they give up their weekends to make things happen, and it's just wonderful.
So as you rehearse now, is the orchestra rehearsing with you, or do you do it with music to a certain point and then bring the orchestra into the fold?
Right now we have an accompanist so we're strictly with the piano right now. The orchestra will be having some Saturday rehearsals together, and then they will come join us the week before we open, and then that's our tech week, and we will start rehearsing with them.
I'm always amazed at the people that are in the orchestra also. At one point, my dentist was playing in the orchestra, and I'm going, huh? What's going on here?
Well, and a lot of times you don't see the orchestra because, they're either in a pit or they're in, some kind of, hidden area so that they're not distracting from the action on the stage. But they really are the unsung heroes of community theater, I would say, because a lot of times they're volunteer too, and they don't get the, stand up, standing ovations at the end and all of that. So, but it always is amazing that you get people from all walks of life that want to come in to do a community theater production.
You really do. We have people who are professors. We have people who are lawn workers in the show. We have teachers. We have
Students.
We have students.
Yeah.
We have moms. We have all sorts, and it's just. It really is amazing. You never know who you're going to see show up for auditions and show up on stage when you go to a show.
But knitting isn't for everybody. Jogging isn't for everybody. Everybody
right.
has different hobbies, and a lot of us crazy people have theater as a hobby.
So, who does your makeup? I imagine casting and makeup, you were looking for not only certain voices, but you were looking for a look also.
We do. I was looking for certain looks. Our Dracula. If you look in the Vox right now, you'll see our ad, and I'm sure it's coming. I know it's coming out in the Columbia Tribune that our Dracula Jazz is a very smoldery, has a very smoldery look
I would
to
agree
him.
with that.
But he also has a very smoldery voice, and so it really goes together. Our makeup is going to be done by Angela Howard. Okay. She also runs Pace, the children's theater here in town, but she will be doing our makeup so that our vampire brides, they're a touch angelic, but you can still see they're very evil, but our ladies will look like ladies and everything. Good. Yeah, we've really been working hard on. We've been talking about makeup. We've been looking at hair to make sure that the hair is period, and so
yeah.
And so, what period is this set?
This is set in the 1890s. The book Dracula was first published in 1897, and that was the time period that Mr. Stoker wrote it in. So it's very neat. It's the late Victorian. So we have bustles and we have the up-hairdo.
Well, it's nice unless you're wearing that
unless
bustle.
you're wearing it, right?
right.
Or somebody grabs those strings of the corset and pulls.
Right.
Yes.
Now, you seem very, very calm for a director of a show that's opening within a matter of weeks. Now, what are the things, because I know there have got to be a couple, that are keeping you awake at night, or the things that you're kind of, sweating just a little bit? Like, is it going to come together? Is there anything like that? Or have you just completely, mastered the non-stress lifestyle, being the mother of 4 children?
Well, I don't know if I've mastered the non-stress lifestyle, but really, we have such a good cast.
Yeah.
And they're picking up on their marks. They've got the music picked up.
Good.
They're very quick studies. So I don't have that panic of we won't be ready or will we be ready.
Sure.
I feel very confident
Good.
that we will, even by the end of our tech week, the week before, we'll be on the mark and we'll be ready to go. They just are awesome.
Now,
Good.
honestly,
I love that.
a stay-at-home mom, where'd you learn to direct?
Well, the school I went to is J.D. Darnell High School in Geneseo, Illinois. And they have a very good music and theater program, and they also have a wonderful speech team. And so a lot of it was watching and seeing, watching how our choir directed, our band directors, our speech team leaders. They were wonderful role models. They never, they didn't lose their cool, but they commanded respect. They made sure that you knew that they were the ones, in the end of the day, they're the ones who were in charge.
Sure.
And you paid attention. So a lot of it came to that. My parents and I, we went to theater all the time. So watching blocking, watching where people moved, watching how sets came together, it was just something that I picked up over a lifetime. I honestly don't have a theater degree. I would love to. I'm trying to figure out how to add that into my schedule. Not sure where that's going to fall, but
Yes. you can juggle that ball probably in about 5 years.
Yeah.
So,
Right,
yeah.
right.
You've also worked with Kirsten Olsen Maloney, and she's
Yes.
an excellent teacher and can teach you all kinds of things too about theater.
yes, I've taken her class at the performance lab and learned a lot
Yeah.
from Kirsten.
So,
that
yeah, that's
that
good.
has been a wonderful resource as well.
Well, I love the occult, the little dark side, the vampire side of the world.
Yes.
So I'm sure I will see you at Dracula. Again, it opens on
September 29th, and I will say that reservations, people are already making reservations,
Yeah.
so I highly encourage people to give a call to 573-474-3699 or visit our website at cectheater.org to make those reservations, because I would hate for somebody to just show up and find that the house is full.
Thank you, Leslie, for joining us.
Thank you, ladies.
You're listening to The Woman Show.